All right, so I bought a new thing. I don't generally buy new camera gear all that often. Some of my other friends who are into photography and cinema and stuff like that, like Brian Slauson, if you look up him on Instagram at Brian Slauson, he's a wedding photographer. He's just incredible at what he does. And it seems like all the time he's always stacking on top of something else. A new drone, a new lens, a new body or something like that. Total gearhead, and he loves it. I don't do that usually. I don't usually go out of my way to buy gear. I use mine until it is obsolete, basically. So recently I did buy a new camera, GH5S. I have the 2.8 lens on there, and that's what I'm shooting on right now. I have the Rode Filmmaker Lav. That's been great for quite a long time. I have a Ronin M, but aside from that, I don't have a lot of stuff. Like that's pretty much it, aside from a Mavic Air. That's pretty much it. And this is what I do for a living. When I go out of my way to buy something new, there's something big that happens that causes me to go ahead and do that. So for instance, I had my camera bag and I was going through TSA, and my bag got pulled, as it generally does when you have a bunch of batteries you're flying with and all that. The look the lady gave when she pulled out my bag was enough for me to say, I need a new camera bag. It was pretty much, is this your bag? It was like a look of disgust, and I was like, it didn't compute at first, and I was like, yeah, does it smell or something? And I didn't know what the problem was. I've used this last bag by Lowpro since 2007. When I went on Warped Tour in 2007, I brought this bag down here, and I've been using it since then. So I mean, 12 years. This bag has been through the ringer. And props to Lowpro, because they made a bag that lasted over a decade. Well, I don't know if it lasted over a decade or if I just kept using it after it lasted. So let's take a look at how this bag broke down. This is the bag itself. I don't even remember the model number anymore. I don't even remember what this thing is called. It's been the only thing I've ever used. There's some incredible features with this bag. On the bottom, we have this built-in rain cover. And I mean, just pop it out and it's on. That's it. That's the whole thing. How this thing broke down though, look at these straps. Dude, look at these straps. So here's my straps. That there is gaff tape. That's what's holding this all together. Why are you using gaff tape on it, Matt? Because the foam padding inside of this arm is, you see how this pops out here? You see all these frays and everything? It is done for. For 12 years, pretty decent condition, I think, actually. We have some tearage at the top, right up here. Some fraying. These glide lock solutions right here, never figured out how to properly use these. Never happened. Never seemed to matter all that much. Open it up. We have some pockets in here for pens when people used to write with those 12 years ago. Two side pockets here. It's really basic stuff. I mean, it's not, I mean, design's important, but utilization is key, right? These have been interesting. So these are little SD pockets. And as I pull this up, this one's fine, but this one is hanging on by one thread on the Velcro for this memory card slot right here. A couple other pockets for filters or whatever. Again, design doesn't really always benefit the end user. Like that's a great thing that they have pockets for these filters, but I don't want to keep thin glass on the outside of my bag. I want that on the inside somewhere, right? Pop this open, inside, laptop sleeve, whoop-de-doo. Inside, we have Velcro opening here. We have these waterproof areas. I don't know if they're actually waterproof, but they've got rubberized plastic or something. That sounds like a thing. Is rubberized? It sounds like a thing. And then bottom slot, and then inside, all the dividers, plus 800 more. Side pocket here, and another one on this side over here. This one is a little bit more worse for the wear. You can kind of see that elastic there isn't supposed to pull up. It's supposed to all stay together, but Anybody want this? If you want it, just hit me up and I'll send this to you, because I don't really want to just, you know, throw it in the ocean. So if anybody wants this, it's yours. So this is the old. So in with the new. This is the new. Boundary Supply. They made this bag, and it's killer. It's awesome. I love it. It seems like it also has a durability to stand for, you know, 10 years or so of rough and tough use. I won't go through a bunch of different parts on here, but first off, a few things. If you have any bit of OCD in you, these buckles will just, like, the simplicity of the way that they click in will satisfy your soul. Can't put a price tag on that. Well, you can. Apparently it's $300. Some things to note about this bag before I kind of open it up. I looked at all the photos they had on their site and I was like, whoa, this is a big bag. I bet I could pack all my stuff in here and that'd be great. And like I listed off my gear and everything aside from my Ronin M, I mean, I could pretty much pack most of my gear inside of here and be good to go, which is totally true. But what I didn't realize is how small this bag is. I mean, you can see it here next to me. It looks like, you know, about the width of my shoulders, which is normal for a bag. But in their photos online, they must have had somebody who had skinnier shoulders than I did, which is hard to find, but they found them. And then they put this backpack on them and then they're like, you're our model now. And you're gonna show people how big this bag is or something. I don't know, but it didn't really benefit me, because when I opened it up, I was like, this isn't gonna work. This is going back in the box. This is returning. Let's break this thing down. Starting with the back. Straps feel good. Everything feels solid on here, but it does feel like a very synthetic type of backpack. One thing that Boundary said is that they're all about sustainability, but I have a little bit of trouble with that. Not sustainability, but with picking up on that, because this is, I don't even know what this material really is, because I mean, really it's so synthetic. Meanwhile, while I'm caring about the environment, I'm driving around a car that runs on dinosaur bones. So, you know, there is that. Ventilation in the back is definitely going to be a good thing. It was 94 yesterday, in Chicago, and that really sucked. So having the ability to be walking around with something on my back that actually felt decent, you know, isn't something I ever got with old LOL Pro over there. There's really nothing to speak of too much for these straps, except for this is another incredible magnetic clip. I don't know, it's not like a plane. They don't have to teach you how to use it or anything like that, but it does kind of just, you know, snap right into place. I don't even know how I did that. I don't know how I did that, and I don't know how I got it apart, but it just comes apart and goes together so naturally. That's called magnetism, Matt. On the side here, we have this, you know, side handle, which is perfect for, I don't really know, but it feels like a solid handle. So, woo, handles. And then we come around to the side here. This is the tripod. This is the tripod holder, and this is great. I mean, it's cool. It's not gonna be big enough for my tripod, but it will give me the ability to put something in there, whether it's a boom pole or whatever I wanna drop in there. I have a 504 Manfrotto, and so it's gonna stick up from like here to like here, somewhere, I don't know. So let's get into the bag itself. That's most of the stuff on the outside that I want to show you for right now. On the top, we do have a zipper for this small pocket here. It has felt in it, and it's, you know, seems like it would keep your stuff nice and warm and safe. And safety is what we're about here today. Then we get to this pocket, which is our top laptop case. This thing right here. They give you this insert for an iPad, also magnetized and snaps in, super cool and all that stuff. This is it. And it's kind of cool. The meshing on the outside feels like it'll tear over time after I put stuff in there that shouldn't be in there. I got a slot for markers or pens or whatever, and then top pops open and just, you know, slide a little MacBook Air or a iPad Pro in there, or whatever you want to. Not my laptop though, it won't fit in there. There's a separate pouch for your laptop. So this slides back into the front part of that divider. And again, we get another metal clicky sound when we put the iPad holder back in. And then we have this part here. It's soft fabric, soft enough to not scratch your laptop. And that'll, you know, be great. It's nothing special. It's a laptop holder. You slide a laptop into it. Who hasn't seen that? Now, I'm gonna get around to something that I haven't really seen. Right. I always pull these up like they're gonna go, these straps, I always pull them up like they're gonna go up, but they actually wanna come down. I'll figure the bag out. So once you unsnap these metal straps here, and you just go, psh, then you have this massive zipper. All right, now this is a little bit deceiving because it's like, oh my God, the bag goes on forever. It doesn't. You still have to be able to get it to fold over here. So it does elevate the height of it, the height of which the pack can go a bit, but it's not all that it seems. So being able to zip from the top all the way down to the bottom, I'm gonna get pants like this because I love this so much. I'm not. Yeah. Open it up like a sleeping bag, and we have a ton of space and a ton of pockets. We have one in the back here, and it's for who knows. I mean, all of these, none of this is like a standard backpack where you would slide in a bunch of your different lenses and be like, oh, this is a perfect space for my body, and I'll put this lens here and I'll lay this one down flat. You can't really do that with this bag. Well, you can, but we'll talk about that in a minute. There's a bunch of different pockets in here that I'm sure are far more thought out than the amount of time that I've put into thinking about them. But as of right now, I've got a bunch of pockets in here that aren't really gonna do anything for me. They're really not there yet. Eventually, I'm gonna say, oh my God, I didn't realize I could put this here, and that would save time digging through my bag for XYZ, whatever. On the sides, from the zipper, we have a zipper pouch here. It's a zipper pouch, not a lot to it. Then we have this mesh over here. I don't like the mesh. I don't like it. My stuff in here isn't gonna need to breathe. You know how I know it's not gonna need to breathe? Because once I zip this thing up and I close it, it's not breathing anyway. So why do we have it as mesh? Now, I'm not trying to shit on Boundary. I'm just saying I don't understand something. So I'm gonna make fun of it until I do. And then I'm gonna be like, oh, right, I'm dumb. Right, okay, that makes sense. That's what'll eventually end up happening, which is pretty much what always happens. Now let's get to camera side. So we zip it all the way up. We got a button to snap it. Hold the zipper up top, push it down, snap this on, snap that on, snap. So now we get to this side. This is the big deal about this bag, right? I mean, there's a lot of side shooter bags. This is not a new thing, a new concept really, but it is done very well. So I open up side of the bag here, and I have a little reinforcement. So like, even though I'm shaking the bag, oh, there it goes. Like these snaps hold pretty well. The first thing I see when I open this up is I have this here, an RFID pouch, which is pretty cool because if I'm gonna have this anywhere, I want it to be in the most easily accessible place. Granted, RFID is to prevent theft from people electronically stealing. And this is like, hey, we're gonna put the pocket all the way on the outside. But you know, if you snap in those buttons, that gives you a little extra security, so you know if someone's digging around in your bag. So stuff can go in here, wallet, whatever else, cards. Then we have this other bag inside. Just like we have that iPad case, we have another bag inside of here. Now, this doesn't come expanded, but I expanded it, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay. So this is your camera portion of the bag. It's really small. I kind of expected it to be what it is, but if you look at the cameras that they use and they put on, or they put in the photos, they are all smaller rangefinder cameras, I believe. So don't expect to be able to fit like a DSLR body with a lens and then, you know, another lens somehow in here. It's probably gonna be a tight fit. But if you have the GH5S like I do, or any other smaller mirrorless cameras, you know, you can fit something in here. You can fit like a decent amount of stuff in here. So anyway, more showing, less telling. Top pocket, nothing special. It's top pocket. That's all there is in here. Nothing. Then we come around to this side where we can open this up. And inside we have some felt, and threw some dividers from my old pack in here just to see if I'd use them, but I haven't yet. Like I said, I don't use a ton of gear, but what I found was I shoot on the equivalent to the 24 to 105 or 24 to 70, what is it, the 12 to 35 lens for Panasonic. And I really like it a lot, and it's really given me most of what I need to be able to get most of my subjects. I'm not out shooting wildlife photography as much as I am doing interviews and other things like that, where I have more than enough ability to get as close to the subject as I want to be able to get. So I don't need these long range lenses yet. I will, and that'll come, but as of right now, I'm good. So this bottom part here, this is just part of this top part. It's all one. They did this amazing design with a zipper. See how that kind of like alligator mouths out? And then it kind of closes it all up. So let me bust this stuff out of here. Enough space for my GH5, the kit lens, a Mavic Air, and then a controller and battery or charging port, whatever. So that's helpful for that. I have these two little pockets up front, and these are just mesh pouches. I keep all my charging cables in here. So basically everything I need to run and gun, bare bones, I can fit into this bag, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think that I'd be able to fit it into my lower half of my bag. But in that upper half, I can throw some clothes, and I'm pretty good to go. I mean, if I had a Ronin S and I dropped that in the top of the bag, I wouldn't be able to fit all the clothes in there that I would need for a week or whatever, but this gives me the ability to really do a lot. I don't like to have more than one bag when I travel. Sometimes I do, but maybe I'd have to bring my tripod. Maybe I'd have to bring my Ronin. Maybe I'd have to bring something else, but this mostly covers me. I might just pick up another photo, or I might just pick up a photo tripod, and in doing that, be able to, you know, fit it into the bag and not have an issue there. All right, so we have this alligator mouth zipper, right? So as we zip it up, goes compact, goes small, goes very small. So then I saw these buckles on the back and I'm like, okay, I know there's a strap that goes on here, but I'm not figuring it out. And it took me a couple, not minutes, but it took me a second to figure it out. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. So this is a strap, and this actually goes onto that like little day pack that kind of breaks out, even though the whole thing is kind of a day pack. These attach into it. The other place this can go, this whole thing right here, can go is behind your back. All right, so there's a little opening there. There's a section here where you can actually slide this through, and then you have a hip strap, and you're able to use that. Everything in this has been thought out, and I know it's been thought out more than the thought that I've been able to put into it so far. I like this bag. It feels durable, and it feels like it's going to last. But one of the key points and the reasons why I bought it is because sustainability is super important to me. And so what did I get for the choice of sustainability when I bought this bag? I got a killer fucking bag, right? I love this bag. This is a great bag. But they do things for sustainability like online manual. Okay? Get your manual. Get it online. That's where your manual is. Boundary, because we're saving paper. Cool. I'm down with saving paper. I think that's cool. You know what? I don't think really, though, that you need a giant fucking cardboard cutout to say how much paper you're saving. So that's, you know, not really insanely helpful. I mean, killer photo in the front and the back, and good design on the back and everything, but I don't need that giant piece of cardboard to tell me how you're being sustainable. It's just oxymoronical. I'm going with that, that's a word. If you do order this pack, you'll find you get this other little card, this little tag in here. And this is basically to say that you can use this for travel and photography and as a commuter and laptop ready up to 17 inches. It's RFID secure. You can use it in an office. Fuck! Dude, you can use this bag in an office. The fuck didn't I think of that? Oh, because if I went back to working at an office, I'd shoot myself in the face. Blue Sign Mills. This is a section they have where they do talk about their sustainability and about how they're all about using energy efficient standards to be able to create the product. But I feel like with a company trying to get into sustainability, it's awesome to be able to have clean power and to be able to create your product that way. But if you're using clean power to create a product that's gonna just float around in the ocean for 500 years after I'm dead, then I don't think that's the best choice to do, right? So if they do have more sustainable projects or points that they're not including in here, they need to include those in here. That's a big point. For me, anyway, that's a big point. And then, yeah, again, it's stain-proof, light foam, water-resistant, nylwool. It's durable, it's breathable. All of this stuff is, I don't need that. If you were talking about the sustainability part, that's cool. If you want to tell me what it's made out of and everything, nylwool. So nylon and wool, and nylon is plastic, so it's plastic and wool, so it's a synthetic wool. All right, so that's not sustainable. It is, but it doesn't break down. Like, you can make it sustainable if you're producing it that in a certain way, but it won't break down, right? So some of the only things that'll break down are like organic materials. So merino wool is like an incredible bit of clothing to be able to wear, and hemp is an incredible clothing to be able to wear. It can be super durable, and I don't know the solution to this. So at the end of the day, I really don't have any problems with this new bag by Boundary. I saw it off of an Instagram ad and it looked interesting, so I clicked into it. Well, I guess I do have one problem with it, and it's the width. I wish it was just a bit bigger. Now, if you're thinking, hey, I'm a photographer, I do cinema stuff, like maybe I should get this. If you're gonna get this bag, you gotta get the insert add-on. There's this $100 insert add-on that you can get, and it fills up most of the bag, and it slides all the way in, and it turns this thing into a real camera bag. And what I mean by that is it's fully a camera bag. It's not, you know, day hike plus whatever, little drone shot with some photos or whatever. It turns it into, you could bring a good amount of gear to set in this thing, and that is what I plan to do. When you're looking for a bag, just make sure that when you buy it, you're not getting something that's under $100. If you are going to be taking your gear with you for a while, you need to know that this thing's going to last. And it's not worth it to buy a bag, get rid of it, buy a bag, get rid of it, buy a bag, get rid of it. There was no real problems that I really had with Boundary, except for the fact that I thought it was going to be bigger, and that it seemed like they were marketing to an audience, myself, that really cared about sustainability. But then I don't really know how they're being so sustainable, even though they're saying that they do it with these other practices and how they get power to their plant and all. That's excellent. It took about 2 weeks for this thing to arrive. They were in stock when the order got placed. Didn't get it here in time for my order. I could have spent like another $50 or something like that for shipping, but it's not a big company. My Boundary is not giant. So the fact that they don't have free 2-day shipping like Amazon, it's not all that surprising. So it didn't bother me at all. Lastly, this bottom, this reminds me of like the old JanSport bags where they had like that leather bottom that never really wore through. So hopefully that will also be the case on here. I mean, solid job on making this bag and everything. Like, I'm hoping to be able to use this for years to come, and you'll see in a bunch of my other videos. When do you need to go from this to something else, and what do you go to? The Shimoda bag seems to be the next step up in terms of size. Boundary doesn't offer anything to the size that Shimoda seems to offer, and I think that's the way to go. But this was an excellent choice for me, but I do need to get that $100 insert. So it ends up being like a $400-something bag. So it's not cheap. Good job, Boundary. Good job. This is a solid purchase, but you guys did fuck up. You guys did fuck up. So check this out. Got an insert from Boundary. Here it is. Okay. The Boundary team is growing larger each day, and we're excited to have you on board. As a Boundary team member, you're automatically eligible to win 2 tickets around the world. Whoa, I could go around the world. I want to go around the world. You have my attention. To win, use #LandWaterRock and post your adventures, field tests, and detours for the entire Boundary community to enjoy on Instagram. Right on, I can do that. On December 24th, 2018, Boundary will announce the winner by selecting the best photo. Don't send me shit. That's outdated. There's a contest that ended 6 months ago. Don't send me that shit. Why would you do that? Don't do that. I've worked at factories. I know how that goes. Yep, add in this thing, this thing, this thing, pack it, seal it, push it. All right, next one. I know how that is, but come on. Don't send me advertisements for using your hashtag for a competition that ended 6 months ago. No, that just looks bad on your brand. That's really all that does. This, though, this thing, that looks pretty good on your brand. And that's the thing that really matters. So good job on the bag, and I can't wait to put it through the ringer, because obviously I did the same thing to that one, and maybe I'll do another video in 10 years on this bag. 12 years, 12, God, I'm old. It's perfect. Next time, I'm going to talk about 5 commercials I'm working on producing and getting together right now. But that's it for now. All right, see ya.